Countdown. Hey beer geeks, Nitch here. I picked up this beer that you can't see because I got this great camera from Cloudwater in London when I was over there. It's Kentworth's Early Lager. I've been trying to drink more lagers because I don't like them, and I thought I should probably expand my palate abilities because I'm reading and training to do stuff for the BJCP. And the reason why I'm filming on this camera on my computer, which is pretty shitty, is because the BJCP is why I got my phone stolen, which is what I normally record on. I was on the metro, and I was reading this fucking tome, and very intently and highlighting things, and it is really interesting to read. And someone reached in my bag and pulled out my phone, so I don't have that for now. But, you know, I still am on all social stuff because I can. This is super fragrant. You get a lot of, like, lemon, spiciness, yeasty. It's obviously been agitated. Whoopsies, I got, like, fruity yeast bits in it, but you can smell that lager yeast, and that smell is the reason why I generally stay away from lagers, because it just reminds me of my childhood, you know, spilling my dad's Budweiser on the computer and kind of shit like that. But other than that, it's got a little bit of a grassy tone to it, a little herbaceous, but again, I want to see something kind of lemony, like lemon blossom, or like fucking daisies, I don't know. Flowery. Not bad, though. I do see why it's like a refreshing thing people want in the heat. I mean, this is pretty cold. And even with the floaty sediment, it's super drinkable. Not sweet, not bitter. It's got a nice little tang to it that comes from more like an herby tang. Totally drinkable. I'm probably just going to pound this before I get on my bicycle and go do things for Paris Beer Week, because that's coming up, and we'll film something about that. Speaking of judging in Paris Beer Week, I judged for Paris Beer Week the amateur homebrewing competition, not the professional one. No, we only have one. Concours Brassage Amateur. So we don't, there's just amateur homebrewing. Anyway, was judging for them. We did a preliminary round, which was nice, because I've done this now, it's my third year, like judging and helping with Paris Beer Week. It's the third year, we've only had 3. And the first couple years, it's been pretty difficult because, beer contests are hard, not just for people organizing it. God bless them for doing that. Thank you, Jonathan V. and Gregoire. But the judges, it's palate fatiguing, and it can be distressing for your mind to, like, have beers that are just, you know, these people try. They put forth effort, and they make these things, and it's, like, painful sometimes. Personally, I don't want to be an asshole all the time when I'm judging these. So, first round we went through, and it was just, is this beer on style, or is it, does it have any faults? And that was it. So we just had, like, one bottle. All the judges, like, just tried a bunch of different beers just to see if something is off style or if it has an infection or a fault of some kind that's really prominent. We'll just get rid of it right away, which makes a lot of sense. It was great because then we don't have to be going through a lot of beers and really judging that in, like, a more final round. What was strange, though, is that they printed out what each person put their style as and their description for their own beer, which was interesting. So you would know what the brewer thought would be in there, which I liked and I didn't like. I think for that round it was fine. But last night we were doing a second round, so like a semifinal, I guess. And in that we were actually judging it, which was a little off balance because there was appearance was 5 points, head was 5 points, the body of the beer was 15 points, the aroma was 20, and the taste was 20, and then there was an overall that was like 25 or something. I don't know if those numbers are totally right. But it was strange that, like, the mouthfeel of the beer, the corps, as it said, like the astringency and the carbonation, stuff like that, was really, get a lot of points in there. And so what you would do is you would have the beer. I mean, what I did is I would taste the beer. We were all separate, like all the judges. We're all just doing our own little papers. We'd go up, get a beer with a number, sit down, do our thing. So there was a lot of talking involved, people kind of going back and forth. And I mean, I get it. Like, I'm looking at this like blinders. Like, I'm a professional because I love beer and I really want to be doing this professionally. So I'm bringing forth a lot of interesting words. I want to write things down that are creative for the brewers so that they can get some really good feedback, and also that I can understand the limitations for styles and what is good and what's bad. So I don't know. I had a weird problem with being able to like read what they thought their beer was. I mean, we're here in Paris. We're like a younger beer culture, so we do have a lot of brewers who just kind of don't really even know that many styles. They entered things under pale ale that are just distinctly not a pale ale. We had I think it was a smoked pale ale, which was actually pretty good. Like, it was drinkable, but they entered it under American pale ale, which is like, you should probably not enter it under that. Like, what do you really do? So there were some heres and theres. I would just drink them and then kind of figure out what I think that the style should be, and then actually read what the people put. Anyway, it was interesting. Finals round should be coming around at some point. And yeah, you can check like all the channels, like the hashtag Paris Beer Week. I work with Parasites. We're doing some really cool stuff. 99 bottles of beer on the wall. We've got artists to contribute, which is cool, and I made a little video for that, which is kind of funny. And we're also doing these pay it forward boards, which hopefully will be pretty fucking sick, and I want them to stay around the city. Basically just encouraging people to buy each other drinks around the city. And encourage people to really get out and see more than just what's on the roster for Paris Beer Week, which we can talk more about that later because I want to bitch. I actually totally want to just complain about stuff. So that's me this week. Nitch, check out my blog, sort of, because I'm writing more on there since I don't have a phone. But I'm Twitter, my Instagram is like basically shut down. But I am learning loggers. Cheers to whatever you have. Merci. Bientôt. Au revoir.